Yo, what's going on, everyone? I'm Vosk. You're on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about the latest and reportedly greatest, yet again, ASIC crypto mining rig. Okay, this is a cryptocurrency mining rig that costs about $2,000, and it is supposed to mine, after you pay your electric bill, almost $20 a day. The launch timing with this miner, I think, is rather unethical. I think that this is going to be one of the worst buys for crypto mining rigs. And I just think that this was a perfectly launched miner from a scammy manufacturer's point of view. But yeah, we're going to dive into all of that in today's video. I'm going to show you facts. I'm going to show you data. This isn't an opinion piece. We're going to be using real world data here. So the history of Equihash mining is that it was originally GPU mined, and we got sucked into that big time. We did a lot of Equihash GPU mining. But long story short, all the Equihash projects for the most part abandoned GPU miners, especially the bigger ones, and with that they moved to ASIC mining rigs, application specific integrated circuit miners. The first one that was publicly available was the Bitmain Antminer Z9 Mini. We talked about that here before. Miss Vosk had a review on it.
Hey guys, it's Miss Vosk here to give you a 8-week update on my Z9 Mini, which I named Fortune Cookie.
And that miner had a massive impact on the cryptocurrency mining landscape then and even up to now. People still run these things 2 years later. So anyway, we're going to dive into just kind of the newest and latest Z15, which is 3 times more powerful, okay, and 3 times more efficient at that. So anyway, it's a pretty big deal. 10 seconds of tails are Shiba Inu. We're going to roll the VoskCoin intro, and then we're just going to show you why this is probably one of the worst things you could buy. So people will end up at these mining profit calculators, and they see something at the top of the chart and they say, hey, that sounds great, I'm interested in that. Or they're like, I would love to make almost $18 a day, $17.46 if you have a 10-cent electric bill, which that's a residential electric rate, my friends. $17.46 a day. Let's do some math with that. So we got 746, and let's just do 30 days. Who doesn't want another $500 a month? And you're not even doing anything. Like, this thing is just sitting in your basement, in your garage, in your industrial mining farm, wherever you want to put it, and it's earning you a cool $500 a month. I mean, imagine if you got 4 of these. That's over $2,000. We recently had a video talking about we bought $5,000 worth of ASIC mining rigs, and how much money we made with that. If you're wondering just exactly what this gear is, what it sounds like, you may hear that hum in the background of the video. Yeah, that's gonna be a mining rig. I want to invite you to watch that video. It's linked in the video description below, but a little bit of a spoiler. It wasn't a good outcome, in my opinion, from a financial point of view. But anyway, let's focus on the video. Okay, so the Antminer Z15 is upcoming, and we have one on order to get here to review on the channel. So that's all we'll have one in the flesh and give you real-time results once we get that opportunity. But right now, all we can do is run the calculations, run the data, and kind of couple that with our experience doing this stuff for a couple years now. So it's supposed to mine over 400,000 souls. This is a significant hash rate, okay? And then we have the power consumption of 1500 watts, and the efficiency basically 3.6. When you look at that, comparing it to the most recent and efficient and still very profitable in this current market Equihash ASIC mining rig, and this all revolves around Zcash if you're not familiar with that. This thing mines at a speed of 135,000 souls, and it consumes 1,400 watts. We reviewed one. It's a nice unit for what it is, but here's the deal. Look at those numbers. This thing is 3 times as fast at basically the same power consumption. I mean, it's 3 times more effective. And that means it's going to put all these other miners into unprofitable areas depending on your electric rate. They recently sold several batches of these. This isn't even the first batch we're looking at right now. It's only one I could easily get access to, like in their shop. So they have some of these miners coming out at the beginning of August, and they're making a lot of them because that's what they do. And it's $1,900 if you buy it direct before you pay 30% in tariffs. Okay, this is well over $2,000 mining rig. And before we go more into the details, I would like to thank today's video sponsor, Cash 2. Basically, they are looking to be an upgraded version of Cash, hence Cash 2. And basically, it's a cryptocurrency blockchain. It's community-based. There's no pre-mine. And it's definitely interesting stuff because they repurpose Blake 2B ASIC mining rigs, some things that literally kind of have no home as far as crypto projects go, and they're inviting people to put those miners on their network and participate in it and get some coins for doing so. One of the earliest public batches we were able to find of the Antminer Z15 is the July 20th to July 30th batch, and this is available through Coin Mining Central. We've talked about them here on the channel before, and you may clearly see that it's more expensive. One, that's because they have to make a little bit of money on these things because obviously they're middlemaning, and they're also kind of paying for any initial tariffs or fees or taxes, whatever is associated with importing them to wherever they send them essentially. Also, if you compare this is going to arrive potentially August 10th. That's a shipping date, okay? In comparison with this Z15 that you would potentially get, around the July 25th. So, this is going to be a good 2 weeks, and 2 weeks in this can be hundreds of dollars as far as crypto mining goes. If you look at the history of Zcash, which is the main coin on the Equihash mining algorithm by very far, they're the ones also who created it. We look at the history, and I mean, this has been ASIC miners this whole way, but you can see that more and more ASIC miners came online. They had a second generation, which is basically the Z11s, which replaced things like the Z9s and the Z9 minis. There's also the InnoSilicon A9 miners. We've talked about the Z Masters here as well. If we take 6.3 gigahash a second in May 2020 and we go back to May 2019, it's at about 3.6 gigahash. Okay, so we've actually quite literally, well, that's not quite literally, almost doubled. We've almost doubled in hash rate. The price hasn't done anything spectacular. It continues to slide down because nobody really wants to buy Zcash. And then also more miners are coming online and more efficient ones have been released since then. But this is what these companies don't tell you, is that the block reward is halving in 185 days. Guess what? August batch, that's 77 days away. That means that you likely only have 100 days before Zcash block reward halves. And guess what happens when that happens? Okay, mining profitability will be cut in half, or worse. Zcash will be like, hey guys, we need more money. And then, the profitability will be reduced more than 50% because that's the way Zcash rolls, and we've seen that time and time again. There are some other cryptocurrencies on the Equihash mining algorithm. Some of them are a variance, like you can't use these miners on Aeon, for example. But there are some other projects here that you could mine, but they pale in comparison in volume to handle this stuff. If Zcash moved away from this, it wouldn't be profitable by a long shot. So to be honest, statistically, they're kind of irrelevant unless you want to mine a bunch and hold and hope that they go up, substantially in price. Again, what I think is so interesting is that these miners just happen to be, released right after the Bitcoin halving, which at that point people realize it's going to be incredibly difficult to mine Bitcoin. Okay, the buzz, the hype, the appeal for mining Bitcoin prior to the halving is now gone. There's only 6.25 Bitcoin produced per block, down from 12.5. That's it. Obviously, that's a half. It's a substantial decrease. And now it's like, well, what can they sell to people who want to mine cryptocurrency? And now they're showing up with the Z15. Interesting timing. It also comes out right before the block reward halving, and you basically have like a projected ROI break even on that thing. It's actually not ROI, but you have a projected break even point per the mining profit calculators of about 3 to 4 months depending on your electric rate. However, guess what? They're dumping a bunch of these machines, so that mining profitability will decrease unless Zcash does something crazy in price. And historically, that's the last thing I would bet on. And again, once that halving hits, I mean, good luck. The fact of the matter is, the summary here, as I say sometimes, ultimately here, guys, is that this is a bad buy. Statistically, it's just a bad buy. Unless crypto and Zcash goes crazy in price, this is a terrible buy. And historically, Equihash, even ASIC miners, have been one of the more stable, one of the more reliable ASIC mining rigs as far as like the actual unit performance, as well as the mining profitability. And some miners that are 2 years old are still earning money, even at a residential electric rate. Okay, that's impressive That's impressive with the way the mining situation has been the last couple years, and how, generally speaking, a lot of coin prices have fallen. I can't say this enough. This is just classic Bitmain releasing stuff at really the perfect time. Clearly, they've been doing this for several years. They have, and they know when they should release stuff, and that this is the best opportunity that they have to announce, release, and take pre-orders, okay, of the Z15. I wish we could change the industry standard that you would buy miners that are available to ship tomorrow, okay, because then you would have a much better insight into what the current mining profitability will be. So anyway, guys, I go on and on. I want to leave it at that. Appreciate you all viewing. I hope this video you find helpful and informative. And as always, please subscribe. We just broke 100,000, which is crazy. So thank you all so much. Now we're chasing 200. And leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Thumbs up. See you on the next one.